Hi, hello. How are you? I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. My name is Aspasia. This is my YouTube channel, Asparagus is Reading, where I talk about books and sometimes other things. Today I'm going to be talking about my reading journal, also somewhat my life journal for 2023. So I'm a little bit behind on my bullet journal stuff. I apologize. To be honest, I was really enjoying not sharing it, but also I didn't really know how to because last year all of my spreads were monthly themed, where this year they're all weekly themed, and I wasn't really sure if people would really want to see a video every single week. And if I did, I feel like the videos would be really short. So I think I'm gonna try to do monthly or bi-monthly. I don't know. We'll figure it out. My bullet journal is here. I think what I'm gonna do first is show you all the spreads for the year and then show you all of January. And then I think for February and March, I'll do that in a separate video. As you probably already know, we are midway through February at this point, so I've already filled out a good chunk of these spreads. So there will be points where I have to cover up certain parts because I have put information that I don't want to share with the public. So if you see me blocking it or putting something over it, that's just because I don't want to share that information. All right, so let's get started. So here we have is the title page, the opening page, the introduction, the if you find this, give it to this person type of page. And so for starters, here I have this very purple themed, kind of like a collage of different stickers and bookish related things. This is just a bunch of different things that I had around my room that were book related in purple. Majority of the stickers that you see here are from an Etsy shop. It is Bree's Etsy shop. She's also known as In 11 Words online. I'll leave a link to her channel and Etsy down below. So this one is hers. This one here is hers. It's very small because they're intended to be small to fit in your bullet journal, to fit within the dot grid. So that there is one of the ones that she shared for her, I think, YouTube content sticker page. This one I think is from Dollar Tree. This one is also from Bree, from one of her tropes and genre page. This is a fire one, so you can kind of rate the spiciness of the book. And this one is from my friend Morgan when she released her debut novel. Then over here, kind of just kept up with the purple and decided to do a little Mickey Mouse outline because this is a Disney themed journal. Just my name, what the journal is, and then the dates. Now we're going to start going into my reference page. So this one, I got inspired from many other people. This is basically just to track my annotations and my ratings. These aren't accurate. These are just quick little summaries of what each of these are for, right? So, pink is for loved it. This darker purple is for foreshadowing and things like that. I don't annotate often, but when I do, I like to go to this to reference. Here is my ratings. These are also stickers from Bree. I gave, again, it's a really quick summary of what my thoughts would be about the book, but to be honest, it's kind of harsh. Usually if I were to rate a book, it might be in between, so it might have a 3.25. And I may or may not leave a review to kind of expand upon this. This is also a sticker from Bree. Then the next page has less of the purple. We go more into green, which you will see I did move away from the purple and start doing different colors per page. And here I have are my reading goals and challenges for the year. So I think on Goodreads and Storygraph, I made my goal 100, but I know I can probably pass that because I have in previous years. And so I went all the way to 175 on this page. Then over here, I had some more challenges where read 20 of my NetGalley arcs, read half of my own TBRs. I do have quite a lot of them. This has been a goal, well, these two really have been big goals of mine for the last 2 years. Haven't done either of them, so hopefully I can finally do it this year. Read a book club picks. I want to participate in more clubs, be a little bit more social online. I don't think I do a lot of that. I want to read 100 plus books, which is this pretty much. Complete a readathon. I've definitely fallen off with readathons the past year or so. I'll join, I'll create a TBR, and then I disappear. So hopefully I can finally do this and complete at least one. I like to go back to my library some more. I definitely stopped doing this now that I'm more of a commuter. I don't really spend as much time as I used to at the library. So I like to go to the public one and the one on campus. Then I have this unhaul 15 plus books, which I do with like multiple steps. So the first thing I normally would do is see if there's anyone in my household that'd be interested in reading the books. And if they do, then I'll try to put it on their shelf, because we do have multiple bookshelves within the house. Then I may ask some friends to see if maybe they're interested, but usually the answer is no. So I list them on my Pango Books account, link down below if you're interested in ever checking out some books that I have for sale. And the last one is 10% of my reads are to be nonfiction. That is just because I'm trying to get more into nonfiction. I don't think nonfiction is as bad as I used to think it is. I think I just never read the right ones and didn't really know how, what's the word, like expansive I guess it is. Like it's kind of like romance. Romance has a wide variety of subgenres, and you could go really anywhere with it. You could read a fade to black romance, or you could read balls to the wall, loud, very descriptive sound effects from page 2. You could read something with aliens and monsters, or you could read someone just loving themselves. Like, it's very wide, and I feel like nonfiction is very similar, where I could read about memoirs or money or finance or how to fix a house, all these different things. And it's, I don't know, I just feel like I've learned more about nonfiction, so I would like to read some more in the future. Oh, also, almost forgot, this is basically just for me. It's the same thing as this, just to really keep a number and like to update to see how much progress I'm making. It's really nothing there. Next page is my buddy reads and book clubs. So, like I said, on this page, I would like to read more book clubs. I also want to be a bit more social within the book community. I've been active within the community for a couple years now, and I just feel like I don't really talk to anyone. This is just for me to like write down different book titles of buddy reads and book clubs I want to do. So far, I only filled in one shelf just because of Pages book club, which I think is like fan fiction book club, or story continues book club, basically reading like fan fiction or retellings of something. And also Julia's Chicklets the Shit, which is basically like a romance chicklet readathon, so I have all of that there too. I don't think I'll be able to fill out this whole page. I mean, you know, maybe I will, I don't know. I'm not really sure if I will read as much as I want to, but I guess we'll see. I don't know. Next spread is some of the readathons or things that I want to do, like checklist wise. The first one is the Buzzer Reading Challenge. This is created by Lala at Books and Lala, also known as Kayla. She created this as a week-long readathon, but has expanded it to be a bit more flexible. So basically, each month you have a word or a phrase, and you try to read a book that has that in the title. And you can be very flexible with it, like if you want to do one book per month, or if you want to do it throughout the year and don't really follow it month by month, or if you want to keep it more readathon based and have like try to read one of these the first week of each month or read multiple of these. It's really flexible now, and I really like this because I feel like it works better. For me, I don't really follow the months. I just tried to hit each of these throughout the year. And it worked really well last year because I surprisingly read a lot. So I'm very curious to see how many I read for this year. This is a Candy Steiner book checklist. I've talked about her before. I love her books, and I would like to continue with her backlist. And so I kind of printed this out just so that I can see my progress. On a similar note, I have the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. This one, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really as strict with. I like Pop Sugar. I like the prompts. I think it's very fun and very creative. I have attempted to complete this for years. I don't think I've ever have, and I honestly don't think I ever will. I think it's fun to try, but I don't know if it's really doable for me, just because there's always a couple of challenges on here that I have absolutely no interest in, or doesn't really fit my reading, and I don't feel that it's necessary for me to really like go out of my way to read it. So I have it here just to see like if I read any, but it's not really a priority. I have read some, I just haven't filled it in on this page yet, so I'll probably wait a couple more months just to get more done and then fill this in. Next spread is the favorite books of the year bracket. I did this, I think I did this through Instagram stories last year, where I just kind of like, what's it, football, the sports where they do this? Just put the title and author of the best book of each month, and then I'll narrow it down until we find out my best book of the year. I'll try to put a picture of what I did last year through Instagram. I think it's just like a really fun thing to do, and I'm curious to see what will be my favorite this year. I do try not to include reread just because I feel like that's an unfair advantage because I already know I enjoy them. However, there are some months where I read a book and the really only one that stands out is the reread. So, you know, it happens, but hopefully we'll have that issue this year. And now we'll be going into my January spreads. So this first one here is based on Treasure Island. This, I believe, is a quote from Treasure Island. There's more treasure in books than all the pirates' loots on Treasure Island. And I just kind of did that there with some pen and a gold marker. And then over here, I did my TBR. I had multiple ideas for this spread, and none of them really worked. And so I did this map here that says January TBR, and I had this plan to like do coordinates. But then I realized I don't think I did it enough for me to have space. So I ended up just putting the book titles on an index card and just rating them as I go. I might go back later and eventually like fill it out properly the way I originally planned to. But until then, this is just how it looks. I mean, it's good, you know, pirate map. It's just not completely finished. And then we go into my weekly spreads. So the first weekly spread that I have here is Lion King themed. I don't know why I did it this way. I just remember this scene and really enjoyed this scene. Actually, you know what? Now I think about it, I think there might have been a Pinterest post that had a very similar thing, and I went with this just because I liked it. It's very simple, just some boxes for me to fill in any information that I need to know for the day, and a couple of like leaves and plants because, you know, they're in the forest. Well, not really the forest, but you know what I mean. And our 3 little characters going across the tree trunk. The next page, I believe, is Snow White. So like I said before, I do have to cover a couple things up because I didn't want y'all to know any things. And so like I said, this is Snow White. This one, I think I also was inspired by Pinterest, but changed it to be more Snow White themed. And did the face, kind of like the outline of each of the characters, but didn't really draw like any more details in that, just because I really like this look. Also I find it a little bit easier just because I don't always do well with details, especially when it's in a much smaller space like this. Next spread that I have is Winnie the Pooh. I think this was a randomly generated theme. I couldn't remember how exactly I picked it. And I kind of just went through different Winnie the Pooh pictures and bullet journal ideas to kind of get some inspiration, and I went with this one. Very simple. Didn't really use it that much that week. I think it was a very easy, not really a lot to do that week. And then the following week is Incredibles. I actually did mess up on this one because I intended for the Dutch door to be down here, not up here, but my mistake. And also when you flip the Dutch door, you can see part of them because it's not cut properly, but that's fine. This one is also very character based. I didn't really do a lot of symbols or like colors or stuff like that. I think a lot of the spreads throughout the year that are Disney based are going to be more of the characters and not necessarily like anything else, but I think once I find, I don't know, I feel like when I think of the movies, I think more of the characters than I really do anything else, so I tend to draw them, but hopefully with more spreads I'll have more than just like the characters. And then the final spread of January in the beginning of February is the Soul movie. I believe this one was chosen with a random number generator, just going off a list. And this one is very similar to the Snow White one, where I just did like different character silhouettes and faces. Except this one I did add a little bit more, like you see his face, you see her face. They have eyebrows and whatnot. That's pretty much all I did for this. as you can see, I did not really fill it out except for like the first 3 days, just because I kind of got a little busy and forgot about it. I do have my TBR here and have some information on the back, but I don't want to show that. So I don't know. I mean, I like these things, but I'm noticing a trend where, again, I'm doing a lot more of the characters, and then also I'm not really filling out the spreads. So I think when I start doing more of my February, March spreads, I'm gonna try to change this up a little bit. But with that being said, that is all these spreads I'm gonna be showing today. It's really just January and my yearly spreads. I will be giving more of February and the rest of the year throughout the year. But for now, that is all. If you do a reading journal or a life journal, any kind of journal, let me know what you journal about. Because I have a friend who does a lot more traveling, and she posts like about her life and where she went and her thoughts during the day. I have a friend that does it more as a daily planner, and she just kind of plans her life in it. And then mine is more reading based. If you do themes, let me know what theme you're doing for the month. And with that being said, I thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, drop a pencil or a journal or a marker emoji. I think they have at least a pencil, I think. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is where you are. And I'll see you in the next one.